You were crying, maybe quietly, somewhere in the bathroom, your back against the door. And suddenly she was there, your cat, just like that. She didn't throw herself at you. She didn't purr. She just sat beside you. And you thought, does she know what's happening right now? Does she feel it? Today you'll learn what's really going on inside her when you cry. And the answer is more complex, and at the same time far more beautiful than you could have imagined. There are 4 things your cat does in that moment that you've never seen quite like this before. And by the end, you'll never think the same thing again when she simply sits down next to you. Stay until the end, because the 4th one is what most cat owners miss, and it changes everything. The first, your cat smells your grief before you even know it yourself. This isn't a metaphor. This is chemistry. When you cry, when you're sad or anxious, your body changes at the molecular level. Your cortisol rises, your adrenaline shifts, your breathing changes. And your cat smells that, with a sense of smell 40 times sharper than yours. She already knows something's wrong before you've even started to cry. The moment your heart grows heavy, without a single sound, she already feels it. That's not coincidence. That's biology. And it means you're never as invisible as you think in your weakest moments. But hey, race something even more interesting. Cats don't just react to hormones. They also react to sound. Researchers at the University of Tokyo have shown that cats precisely perceive the voice changes of their person. They distinguish whether someone is speaking with sadness, anxiety, or anger. And with sad tones, they show a clear change in behavior. They seek closeness, not loudly, not dramatically, but they come. You probably know that feeling, that quiet arrival beside you, without announcement. Sitting down a little bit away, but close enough that you feel them. That's not coincidence. That's a response to you. Now comes something many people have never heard. Your cat is helping you, actively, but in a way we mostly don't recognize. When you cry with a dog nearby, he does everything. He licks your tears, he whines, he presses against you. He tries to make the pain go away. Your cat doesn't do that. She just sits there. And that is actually stronger. There's a concept in therapy called silent presence. When someone doesn't try to fix your pain, but simply stays. That's one of the most effective forms of human support we know of. And it's exactly what your cat does. She doesn't correct you. She doesn't comfort you with words that mean nothing. She simply stays, and that's enough. Sometimes it's more than enough. But hey, race something most cat owners have never noticed. Your cat's closeness has physiological effects on you. When she leans against you, when you touch her fur, when you hear her purring, your blood pressure drops. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing regulates itself. That's not emotion. That's measurement. That's scientific fact. Your cat is literally a therapy that comes to you on its own. And she doesn't do it because she was trained to. She does it because she loves you. In the only way she knows. Now let me ask you something. Was there a moment when you were so deep in your grief that you thought, nobody understands this? And then your cat just showed up? I think you know how that feels. That moment when an animal sits beside you without expecting anything, without judging, without asking why you're crying, without saying ITLL get better. Simply, I'm here. That's all. That's more than many people could ever give you. And it comes from an animal that most people underestimate. But here comes the part one don't want to hide from you. Not all cats come when you cry, and that's not because they don't love you. Some cats keep their distance when emotions become too intense. That's not a sign of coldness. That's their protective mechanism. Remember, cats aren't co-regulators like dogs. They're independent beings. They choose when to come. And that choosing makes the moments when they do come even more precious. So when your cat comes when you cry, she has chosen to come. Actively, deliberately, for you. That's not a reflex. That's a choice. Let me tell you something a behavioral researcher told me. He spent 30 years observing cat behavior in foster families, in shelters, in private homes. He says, cats that grew up with sad people develop a finer emotional antenna. They learn to read their person's moods like a second language. And in difficult moments, they just know what to do. That's not magic. That's learning. That's bonding. That's love built up over time. Every minute your cat spent watching you was a lesson. And the final exam is the moment you cry and she comes. Now I want to tell you the third thing, the one many people don't know. Your cat suffers with you, not in a dramatic way, not in a way you'd notice immediately. But chronic stress in her person also makes cats sick. Studies show cats that regularly live in emotionally charged households have higher cortisol levels. They sleep worse. They eat more irregularly. They seek more solitude. Your cat carries your pain with her, a piece of it, in her own way. And you should know that. Not so you worry, but so you know you're not alone with it. She carries it too. She feels it too. She becomes heavier when you become heavier. That's the deepest form of community I know. Now I'm coming to the point that brings it all together. And to the fourth thing your cat does when you cry. The fourth is the hardest to describe, but I'll try. When you cry and your cat sits beside you, she does something no human can do. She doesn't judge. She doesn't explain. She doesn't need to know why. She needs no story. She needs no context. She needs no justification. She accepts you exactly as you are in that moment. Broken, confusing, crying for no reason or for 1,000 reasons. That's rare. That's very rare. And that's exactly why it's so hard the first time you experience it. That feeling of being accepted without words, without comment, without opinion. Simply being there, for you, in this moment, without end. Most people in your life want to know why, what happened, what you need. Your cat wants nothing at all. She's simply there. And in that unconditional presence lies something that heals us. Not because cats are magical, but because contact without expectation is one of the deepest human needs. And your cat gives you that, without knowing it. The next time you cry and she comes, let her. Don't read meaning into it. Don't expect anything back. Just stroke her along the back. And notice how your breathing changes, how the knot in your chest loosens just a little. That's not imagination. That's really happening in your body. I know grief doesn't just disappear because an animal is sitting there. Some nights are dark, no matter how much fur is lying beside you. But that small body leaning against you, without expectation, without condition, it's not nothing. It's very much something. It might be the most honest thing someone can tell you today. And it comes from someone who can't speak at all, but understands everything. Write to us in the comments whether your cat does this too, whether she comes when you cry, and what you feel in that moment when she's there. We read every single one, because they're stories that deserve to be heard.